Ah, the very first new fall product of the season. You can just taste the anticipation in the air with a knife. Wait, that's not right. I'm sure there's some idiom that sums up what's going on here, but I can't think of it right now because I'm too hungry. Apple cinnamon buns. Any one of those three elements is enough to make my mouth water. All three together? Shoot, how could Trader Joe's possibly go wrong? Well, first off, there are no heating instructions on the box, which I thought was weird. I mean, sure, there are plenty of baked goods you can just snatch right out of the packaging and go to town on. These seem possible candidates for such a situation, and the lack of preparatory directions reinforced that assumption. However, the buns were decidedly unimpressive at room temperature. Sonia described them as hard, whereas I simply saw them as stale. We consumed them a full 3 days before the Best By date, in case you were wondering. So we mused whether we'd nuke them for a spell or air fry them. We opted for the former, at least partially out of impatience, but also because 12 or 15 seconds in a microwave posed less of a risk of drying out the product than any number of minutes in an air fryer. After heating, the product was markedly improved on several fronts. The texture was wetter, softer, fresher, and even the cinnamon flavor seemed to pop a little more than it did prior to the pastry's ride in the radiation robot. I slathered my share with butter, which gave it a bit more of a comfort food vibe than the product provided just on its own. Still, there's not nearly enough apple in the buns to make them magical or memorable. There's a shallow, paltry pool of minced apples in a sugary sauce right on top in the middle of the buns, but that's about it. For these to get our enthusiastic seal of approval, that apple filling would need to at least quadruple or quintuple in quantity. As is, we're looking at about 3.5 stars from Sonia and 3 from me, which honestly I think is being a little generous. Heated with some added butter, these buns make a passable dessert treat, but they're a far cry from legends like the rustic apple tart in terms of appleiciousness and overall purchase worthiness. $4.49 for 2 buns. Probably wouldn't buy Trader Joe's apple cinnamon buns, crumb-topped Danish pastries with apple filling and cinnamon again. Bottom line, 6.5 out of 10. Meh.